Hi everyone, my name is Kes and I collect, and today I wanted to share my opinion on Shadow High. I want to create multiple series on this channel so there's something for everyone depending on your interests in what kind of doll videos you like to watch. I want to give something for everyone, and I honestly like creating different kinds of videos, like opinion videos, reviews. I basically love all kind of doll videos and I just want to create as much as possible and as much variety as possible. And today is going to be my first opinion video. Today I want to share my opinion about Shadow High. Little disclaimer, if your opinion is the complete opposite of mine, that is completely fine. I'm just here to express my opinion. If you think differently, no hate here. We're all doll lovers and doll collectors. I appreciate everyone's opinion. So definitely let me know your opinion in the comments down below and let me know what doll brand you want to hear my opinion on next. But today, we're gonna talk about Shadow High. So Shadow High is a sister brand of Rainbow High. Rainbow High is all unicorns and rainbows, of course. And Shadow High is more on the darker side. Kind of gave me 13 Wishes vibes, not gonna lie, like with the whole wisp thing, but I don't think they copied that. I think it's awesome that MGA is kind of creating something for multiple audiences, right? Because there are some people that don't always like the colorful dolls, that want more darker looking dolls, and I do have to say I love the aesthetic and I love the way they look on display. I've seen other people's collections of like Shadow High dolls and I think it looks so satisfying. Now let's start when the dolls were introduced, which was in the webisodes. I'm not going to talk about the whole storyline of Rainbow High since that is more fitting for a Rainbow High opinion video, but I want to talk a little bit about when Shadow High was introduced. Shadow High has recently been introduced in the series as a rival school to Rainbow High, which is pretty cool, and I do have to say the series got more interesting when they mentioned Shadow High. It's also cool to see more not necessarily villain characters, but just not always super duper happy characters, because I like that. I like to see variety in personalities and stuff like that. And I think when they introduced Shadow High, they really brought more of that. I think the idea of a grayscale doll is super epic, and of course it has been done before. Like Monster High did it before as like a San Diego Comic-Con doll and with a black and white Frankie, but we haven't really seen a grayscale playline before. It's also cool to see that they're going towards more audiences, and I think this is such a cool way to reach out to a different audience. The concept is great, really like that. But when I saw the dolls, I have to say I wasn't really that impressed. Personally, I'm not a huge fan of the fashions. There was this one girl, I think her name is Heather or something, with a split dye, and I think her face is so cool and her hair is beautiful. I love that they're like giving me an e-girl moment, except for the fashion. They could have done such a cool e-girl look. And I hate animal prints or animal skin clothing. It's just personally not my style. I have never liked it as a kid either. I never liked it. And for the other fashions, I just really was kind of underwhelmed. I really didn't like Natasha's. Luna's was kind of cool. She gave me a little bit of Ariana Grande vibes, which I thought was really cool. And the fact that it's like her evil twin sister, love that. They really nailed like the twin sisters and stuff. I love sister packs and I love that they're giving us more and more. So I wasn't really planning on collecting Shadow High, even though I think the concept is pretty cool. I'm still like, you know, I'm not obsessed with the fashions, and that is a big deal when I collect dolls. I really want the fashions to be my style or like something that I like. But then recently Shadow High released pictures of 3 new dolls that they were gonna add to the Shadow High collection. Ainsley, which was a student at Rainbow High, but she transferred to Shadow High, which was like a big shocker, and I thought that was kind of cool that they did that, because maybe she'll feel more at home at Shadow High. The doll looks beautiful, but I personally don't want her. She's not giving me that feeling that I want when I collect a doll, you know? Sometimes when I see a doll, I'm like, oh my gosh, I want her so badly. And that's the feeling that I look for when I buy dolls, because that's also part of why collecting is so enjoyable. And then you get what you wanted and then you feel nice. Such a weird way of explaining how collecting dolls makes you feel good. But when I saw the twins, I was sold. They are the vibe I was looking for, even though the fashions are still kind of not really my style or like really what I wanted to see. The makeup, the eyes, the hair. It just made sense to me. The whole aesthetic, the colors, it was so beautiful. And I am really planning on getting those because I think they're stunning. So those will be my first dolls in my Shadow High collection. I also just saw some listing releases that they're gonna come out with a costume party line, and there's gonna be a fairy, a witch, a vampire. I mean, girl, yes please. I want that. I want those kind of dolls. I love freaky things. I love costumes. I love monsters. So I think I might get into collecting Shadow High too, and maybe Rainbow High if I see some that I really like. That is basically my opinion on Shadow High so far. Also, I kind of want to talk about Natasha. I'm not gonna say I felt attacked, but okay, so I'm Dutch, right? I'm from the Netherlands. So I know how people talk here. I've been born here. I know how words are pronounced in my country. I know the basics. Now, what I heard is that Natasha was supposed to be Russian, but because of the thing going on, they decided to switch it up and made her Dutch. Now, I predicted this. I told some friends like, oh, I bet they're gonna give her the crappiest Dutch accent and make her sound German, because that happens in every single American TV show. Only The Simpsons did it right. They actually hired a Dutch person who actually spoke Dutch. But every single American TV show, like, I don't know, Big Mouth did it. There are lots of series where they just make them sound German. I understand that is like our neighbor country, and yes, some words do sound the same, but it's not the same language. It's not the same grammar at all. It's not the same. Just putting it out there. I think they were rushed a little bit too much into making Natasha Dutch, so they couldn't really do the proper research of how to pronounce certain words. Sure, I think that is probably what happened, but they could have just made her German though. Also, it's so weird that, like, why did I have to make it obvious that she's from another country? They could have just said, oh, she's Dutch and she speaks English fluently. Sure. They didn't have to put in this like Dora the Explorer moments, like, this is how you say this in Dutch, Lippenstift. That's not how you pronounce it, sweetie. I'm not, honestly, it's not a huge deal to me. Like, I don't get offended by it. I just laugh. It's just laughable that they do it again and again and again, and they never get us right. That's just one thing I wanted to mention about the Shadow High webisodes that I thought was kind of funny. Because honestly, us Dutchies don't really get representation in dolls at all. So this was kind of the first doll that was actually Dutch. So it was cool to see that there was a Dutch doll, a Dutch character. And her personality was okay. Like, she was fun, she was cute. I'm really curious if they're gonna bring more characters to the Shadow High world. And I wonder like how the grayscale works. Like, if they transfer, do they turn into these grayscale characters, or are they born like that? It just fascinates me. Like, how did it happen? Or is it just like a different species in the Rainbow High world? Like, how does it work? Also, can we talk about freaking Rainbow Vision? I love how they're like putting in little European hints, like, we got a Dutch character now, we're doing Rainbow Vision, which is obviously Eurovision, but then with Rainbow High and Shadow High characters. I'm curious to see the performances, because if it's anything like Eurovision, it's gonna be freaking hilarious. I don't know if American people really know about Eurovision or watch it at all, but it's basically a show where countries compete against each other and have these outrageous, crazy performances with like the weirdest acts, and some people are really serious and just hold a microphone and have like a black and white background, but other people have like chickens or I don't know, whatever in the background, and it's hilarious. So I'm honestly really curious what they're gonna do for Rainbow Vision, and I definitely want to see the different acts, yes. And I wonder who's gonna win. Are you Team Shadow High or are you Team Rainbow High? I'll have to see. Also, the fact that they released those episodes just after Eurovision. So yeah, that was my opinion about Shadow High. Let me know which brand you want to hear my opinion on next. Definitely want to do Rainbow High, of course. Since I did Shadow High, I definitely want to do Rainbow High and talk about more like the bodies and the articulation, and because that's kind of the base, right? Shadow High is just a sister brand and Rainbow High is kind of the base. So I definitely want to do that one. But let me know which doll line you want to hear me talk about next, and I will probably make it. Thank you all for watching. I hope you guys liked it, and I see you guys in my next video. Bye! Whoa. Can we just make dabbing in again?